I think it's a great exploration of reality. I don't think it's science fiction at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
in a way, it's like 99% here and 1% up there in that super satellite life or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and Neil said that before. He said, you know, it's not about the future; it's about the world that we live in. And I think you know, great sci-fi movies or action adventure movies, they do that. They'll create a world, but you know, it's got to apply to the world that we live in, so that the audience can relate.
Do you do you ever choose films for your kids to see? I know you have 4 girls and all that.
Yeah,
Well,
I always assume that they'll see all of them someday, you know. So I mean, I'll do a movie like, you know, Happy Feet 2, so they can see it now. But you know, if I can get a great movie like this, that's obviously not appropriate for my 7-year-old girl, uh, you know, I know that, you know, that someday she'll see this one.
the world that you guys created is amazing. It's I wouldn't like to live there in either one because it's very the one on Earth is very limited and the one up there is too strict.
Right,
Do you
right.
agree with that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, neither of them look like great options necessarily, but you know, but I think he wanted to take him to those total extremes. Like Elysium is the ultimate gated community, like on steroids, like, you know, beyond anything that we have here on planet Earth. Whereas the resource starved Earth, third world Earth, is you know, kind of like the worst things that you will see here on planet Earth.
When a film has your name attached, many times it makes a lot of money. Do you feel that you're like a ATM machine that attracts, or like a bank that attracts
I hope so.
investors?
I hope so. No, no. I mean, look, it's. I think that I don't. Every movie's different, and I think every movie, you know, you're always one movie away from, you know, from not, you know. I mean, it's just so impossible to know, and I don't think it's ever a fait accompli. There's no movie star today that where people just go to the movie no matter what. You know, it's not like it once was. I think people really make a decision each time out based on the materials and the trailer, and that can always change. And I hope that this movie does really well. I hope it does really well because it's a big original movie, and there aren't making very many big original movies right now. And if this one does well, then it makes it easier for the next, you know, auteur director to come along and make a big original movie.
Plus, the message is really wonderful. I mean,
We just exploded the room with that
that's
question.
like Elysium.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
message is really cool, no?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really cool and really resonant with the world we're living in today. And you know, it's like District 9. I think that, you know, Neil's so good at giving these movies a soul and thematically making them really strong, you know, giving real strong underpinning to these stories, but at the same time not hitting you over the head with anything and making a really just big entertaining movie.
So, certain media has created this image of Hollywood. Like in Hollywood, everybody's superficial. They just go to parties and party all the time. But in a way, I don't think it's true. I live here and I never get invited anywhere. So
Me neither.
it's so boring.
Yeah, no.
But what? How do you keep grounded? And how is your daily life? And
I think it's probably as normal as anybody else's. You know, I've got 4 kids, and you know, 3 of them have no idea what I do for a living. So it's like, you know, it's, you know, when you're a dad, you know, that's all of the energy kind of goes there, and you know, I don't. My father once joked with me. He called me up and he said, you know, I was just laughing with your brother because he's like, you remember we used to watch The Honeymooners together? We used to love that show. And I said, yeah. And he goes, see, Jackie Gleason, he drove a bus, but when he got home, he was the king of his castle. He goes, and that's the opposite of you. You go out and you're treated like a big deal movie star, and then you get home and you don't run anything. He goes, you know, those kids walk all over you. You know, he said, you're the opposite of Jackie Gleason. So I think that's, you know, your kids can humble you pretty easily.